It's been a minute since I've posted an update about life here on the farm and how the animals are doing, how the gardens are growing. So, yeah, this is going to be an interesting video. Some of the snippets are going to be from a week or so ago, and some of them will be now. We'll mention some new developments and also keep you updated on how some of the little fellas, like this one right here, have been doing and growing, and some other new developments that you know nothing about. Let's get into it. Good day. My name is Johannan and welcome back to Via Condios Homestead. I'm on my way to check on the pigs and get ready for their morning feeding. We're temporarily housing them in a structure near the house, but the long-term plan is significantly different. You'll see more about this later this week when my lumber order arrives. If everything goes according to plan, we may also have some other new visitors arriving within the next day or two, which I'm very excited about. I expected to arrive and find them frantically squealing for food. Such is not the case. Now that is a good nap if I've ever seen one. Listen to the snores. I didn't even know pigs snored. Well, I do now. Eventually we'd like to get the pigs on a diet that comes mostly from our own property, but until we have the start of the food forests and herb gardens and vegetable gardens and such really going, we're on prepared foods. So we have some soaked overnight prepared pig feed, which is non-medicated for the record. Seems like I'll be feeding them in sessions because, yeah, giving them the full morning quota in that bowl is going to be interesting, and I didn't just want to dump it out on the floor. So I'll go refill the bowl a couple of times and try not to spill some all over the pig next time. But man, I thought I got hangry. That's some entirely different action right there. Our seedlings never have any need to want attention or have to wonder whether they're wanted. We plant them, and then 10 minutes later, are you there yet? So yeah, checking on the recently planted seeds to see if they've become sprouts yet. Nothing yet. How surprising. But anyway, keep on being hopeful. Maybe later. Well, I've just managed to record an entire segment about these little guys and not actually record it. So yeah, despite the fact that it's only been a few days since I last recorded these, there have been some significant changes. We split them up into the older ones on the right and the younger ones on the left. We also changed the waterers out. These were on back order, like we was just waiting for them to get in here to arrive so I can put them in. But they seem to be working better because before they were stewing in their water bowls and getting all soaked and cold, which is not optimal, obviously. And some of the little ones were getting trampled by the bigger ones. So it just became a whole reshuffle in here again. But the stuff for the breeders should be arriving tomorrow. then we can start getting those and the tracks are sourced as. But yeah, so far so good. Rather than panning out as we'd hoped, things have panned out better than we'd hoped. Meet our new additions. These two lovely ladies are Colebrook pigs. Their origin is debatable, but they have been around since the mid-18th century, I believe, and some historians claim that they are the descendants of pigs washed up during a shipwreck on the western coast of South Africa. These are excellent charcuterie pigs, have wonderful docile temperaments, and have a lovely habit of grazing. We're hoping to use them to help clear land here on the homestead in preparation for other activities. As you can hear in the background, our dogs are as new to pigs as we are and have not exactly taken kindly to the new residents. They might sound brave, but they're actually terrified since these relatively small pigs are relatively large compared to them. But they really do have the most wonderful personalities. Good girl. Good girl. After a week of watching and waiting, and watching and waiting, and watching and waiting, we finally have sprouts. It felt more like a month, to be honest. It's been so long since we had a vegetable garden that it just felt like an eternity. And every single year it's the same thing. It's like, are these actually going to grow? Did I do something wrong? Is it going to work? And yes, we have pea sprouts. There they are, the little darlings, just starting to peep through. Just starting. They literally must have broken the surface sometime between when we checked on them this morning and when we came back from the farmer's market. There's not a whole stack, but they seem to be sprouting here and there, so it's a start. It's better than a whole bunch of empty soil. Just look at them. Well, we've erected this temporary, hopefully very temporary, barrier because our new arrivals are happily free range and we were going to just leave the front open so that they could get in and out where the food and water is, but they had different ideas. So we ran around frantically last night chasing down piglets and setting up a barrier so they can't get out. As you can see, they've entirely removed the middle partitioning. The new visitors, or new residents, are having great fun sleeping at the back. Well, this lot that I can't trust to not fit through those fences are wandering around to heart's content. Now I need to get Georgia and Charlotte at the back there out because they've been fed a mainly grain-based diet and need to lose some weight, so we're going to be foraging them out here for a while. And this lot need their grain, so that will be an interesting experience. Oh, by the way, if anyone wondered, some of these pigs actually like the yucca quite a lot. This property had a lot of huge yuccas, which we've been trimming down and getting into shape. Not because we don't like them, just because they were absolutely huge and unruly. And these large whites quite enjoy munching on the leaves, it turns out, which is a benefit because I read a study yesterday that yucca leaves, or a certain content of yucca leaves, actually helps bring down the amount of nitrogen in their manure and urine, making it more easy, goodness, my English, making it easier to process for use as compost in the garden. As you can see, despite their inclination to help them escape, these two Colbrooks are not
too keen on the little large white piglets, but since they're out now, we might actually be able to separate them once that one decides to make a way here. They're very, very calm. They do everything calmly. They go nowhere quickly. So, helpful in one way, but not helpful in another. Let's see what we can do with this lot.
Um, so, so we had a narrow escape. There was an attempt at carnage by those two placid ladies over there, who apparently are those two placid ladies over there, who apparently are not so placid when confronted with piglets. So yeah, had to open up for them, which meant I had to chase down two of these, and also only some minor disruptions. We've got them back. My lumber order should hopefully be arriving today, and then I can sort out their more permanent movable pen. But for now, they're just getting a bucket of feed randomly dumped in here to keep them occupied, because otherwise they're just going to keep testing this fence. They are voracious feeders. No, and that's not their only feed for the day. Woke up this morning to find this. The ground is actually frozen. It's frost. I don't know this. This is weird for me. And man, is it cold. Look at that. It's literal frost. For those of you who live in cold places like the US and Europe, you'll think I'm being very strange. But this is very unusual for me.
Remember that I moved here from the polar inverse of Narnia. We had always summer and never winter. If we had winter, it was for 2 days a year, and it hit maybe 20 degrees Celsius. So yeah, this is new to me. The lumber order I mentioned before arrived yesterday, so cue the scene of my balding pig pens. This wood I ordered seems to have been stuck together out of various other pieces of wood. So I'm sort of building these pens on faith, trust and pixie dust, if I'm gonna be so bold. There's a couple of joints right there. There's some more. There's some more. There's another one. Already had one of them snap while I was carrying them, as you can see just there. But we'll see how this goes. Hopefully they're well joined so they won't snap. After a fair share of effort and notching with the table saw, managed to turn a pile of these into the first two sides of the first pig pen. While having them running around like this is adorable, I'm still not sure they can't fit underneath those fences, and yeah, I can't watch them all the time. So, pig pens it is. Right, so we're up to basically a full frame, and pigs having fun in the middle of it. So yeah, now I need to screw this together and get the mesh on there. Let's see how that goes. I did The mobile pig pen is more or less complete. I still need to add a door, but other than that, it's basically done. And we're trying them in here for the first time. I tested them in here with a handful of grain, and the hope is that we'll be able to use them to help clear the areas where we'd like to plant our food forest, berry orchard, fruit orchard, whatever you want to call it. There's all sorts of things on our to-do list. So we're trying them out on this rather grassy patch, and we'll see how they do. Unfortunately, we also have some very painful creepers here that produce three-pronged thorns. I'm not quite sure what they are, but they hurt like the blazes. And these are doing a pretty good job of rooting them out, but we're hoping to concentrate them in a single area using the pens so that we can have more reliable results in the locations where we want them. The last few days we've been working on bucket training the little piggies. It's not going too badly. We have a vibrant pink bucket. Sometimes they follow, sometimes they don't. We have two runaways. I'm trying to figure out exactly where they are right now. Thank you for joining us for this interesting video full of 101 mismatched updates. Stay tuned for the next one where there will be some other exciting updates that you are yet to hear of. Thank you for tuning in. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and click that bell button so that you can get notified of upcoming videos. And until next time, vaya con Dios.